So hello guys, today we are going to solve a LeetCode question that goes by the name minimum levels to gain more points. The question number is 3096 and it's a LeetCode bi-weekly question that is for today, that is 30th March 2024. Okay, so it's a medium question. The second question, it was the second question asked in the contest. Okay, so let us first try to read the problem statement and then we can go into the solution. Okay, so what is the problem statement? You're given a binary array possible of length n. Okay, so what we are given? We have given a binary array possible, okay, of length n, and it is a binary array, so it will contain 0 or 1. This I know. See, this is such a huge question just to confuse. The question is very easy, okay, and they have mentioned in medium, so you are thinking that it is medium. No, it's very easy. Let us see. Okay, Daniel, Chang, and Bob are playing a game that consists of n levels, and the array length is also n. Okay, some of the levels in the game are impossible to clear, while others can always be cleared. Okay, so some levels can be cleared and some level cannot be cleared. Okay, it is saying that in the array, in the possible array, there are some levels that can be cleared and some levels cannot be cleared. Okay, so let us see what levels can be cleared and what levels cannot be cleared. If possible of I is equal to 0, then the ith level is impossible to clear for both the players. A player gains 1 point on clearing a level and loses 1 point if it fails to clear it. At the start of the game, Daniel Chang will place some levels in the given order starting from the 0th level, after which Bob will play for the rest of the levels. Okay, so it is basically saying that possible of n contains the number 0 and 1, 0 and 1, basically 0 and 1, and every time this 0 occurs means that both the players cannot clear this level, and 1 means they can clear this level. So 1 means clear and 0 means not able to clear. This is the simple thing that they are telling. Now you know that you have a possible array, that possible binary array. Okay, and what does 1 denote? 1 denote that you can clear the level, 0 denote that you are not able to clear the level. And there are two people, Mishong and Bob, they are playing. Okay, so what I have to do? At the start of the game, Daniel Chang will place some levels in the given order starting from the 0th level, after which Bob will play for the rest of the levels. Okay, so it is saying that if the array is something like this, okay, and we are also given like this, if 0 is coming, then the player would lose the game, okay, and if 1 comes, the player would win the game. So if you just consider points as 0 at the start, so 0 would reduce my point and 1 would increase my point. Just if you are clear the level, your points would increase. If you are not able to clear the level, the points would decrease. This is what the question is saying. Okay, and then we are said that we are given an array where 1 would increase my points and 0 would decrease my points. Okay, and it is given that first Mishong will play some games and then Bob will play some games. Okay, what I have to do? Return the minimum number. Daniel Chang wants to know the minimum number of levels he should play to gain more points than Bob. If both the players play optimally to maximize their points, return the minimum number of levels Daniel Chang should play to gain more points. If this is not possible, return -1. Note that each player must play at least one level. Okay, note that each player must play at least one level. So they should be playing one level. Okay, let me tell you this test case and then you will understand what I am trying to say, what the question is trying to say. 1 0 1 0. Okay, and you are given that 1 would increase your points, and 0 would decrease your points. Okay, so, and I know that first Mishong will play. What is his name? Daniel Chang will play, and then Bob will play. Then first Daniel Chang will play, and then Bob would play. Okay, so, and I have to make them play the game such that Daniel Chang scores more points. So for scoring more points, what is the first thing that comes to my mind for scoring more points? It should be able to clear more levels. And when it will be able to clear more levels? When the Games that games that Daniel Chang is playing contain more number of ones, and the games that Bob is playing contain less number of ones than Daniel Chang. Okay, Daniel Chang, or it contains less number of zeros, number of zeros than Bob, less number of zeros than Bob. Okay, so if I'm just able to tell you 0 1 0 1 0, this is my test case. Daniel and Bob are playing. Okay, my points are 0 currently. Okay, so I have to consider for all the scenario. Okay, I'll just try to tell you this case. See, let us look at the level Daniel Chang is playing up to. If Daniel Chang playing only level 0, so if it plays Daniel Chang plays only level 0, suppose it plays only this one level. Okay, so all the other games would be played by Bob. See, suppose my Daniel Chang plays only this level and Bob plays only this level. Okay, and Bob plays only this level. So Daniel Chang would be playing only one level. This would be by Daniel Chang and this would be played by Bob. So if I calculate the points for Daniel Chang would be having a points. The points were initially 0, and if I just add this 1, so my points, Daniel Chang's points will be point plus 1, so it would be 1. Okay, and it is playing only one game, so Daniel Chang points are 1. Okay, and for this, basically it will be -1, +1, and then -1. So -1, +1, and -1 becomes -1. Are Daniel Chang points greater than equal to Bob's points? Bob's point? Yes. Okay, so I can store this like for playing. If Daniel Chang plays one game, he's still able to win the game. He's still able to make the condition successful. Okay, suppose if the same test case is given, now Daniel Chang has played one game. We have considered a scenario where Daniel Chang played one game. Now suppose if Daniel Chang played 2 games and Bob played 2 games. So this is Daniel Chang and this is Bob. Okay, so if I calculate the points for Daniel Chang, it would be +1 and then -1, because 0 would be -1. So +1 -1 becomes 0. And for this, +1 then -1 becomes 0. Okay, +1 -1 becomes 0. So both of these are 0. Is this point, Daniel Chang point, greater than Bob? No. So my minimum answer would remain 1. Minimum answer would remain 1 because it is playing only one game. Because it is playing only one game, I'm still able to win. Okay, and remember, I have to calculate the minimum number of games, minimum number of levels it should play to gain more points. Okay, so I have considered the scenario where it plays 2 games. Okay, this is my second pass. This is my first pass. Okay, so I have considered the scenario where Daniel Chang is playing 2 games. Now if I just consider the scenario where Daniel Chang will be playing 3 games, so 1 0 1 0. Okay, and Daniel Chang would be playing 3 games. So Daniel Chang would be playing these 3 games, and my Bob will be playing this game. Okay, this game. So if I just consider Daniel Chang's points, so +1 -1 then +1. So what are the points? +1 -1 and +1, it becomes 1. And for Bob, the point becomes -1. So is Daniel Chang point greater than Bob? Yes. But how many games does it take for Daniel Chang to win? 3. But I already know that it had already won in one game. Because if I consider this case, Daniel Chang only played one game. See, here Daniel Chang played only one game and still it had point 1, whereas Bob had point -1. So which is a better option? 1. So this minimum would not be updated. Okay, so now it has come to a point where Daniel Chang has played 3 games. So if I just consider this scenario, will I consider that Daniel Chang plays 4 games? Will I consider this scenario? No, because we are given that note each player must play at least one level. So what is the maximum games that Daniel Chang can play? n-1. So what we just saw when we were given this array, when we were given this array, we considered the scenario where Daniel Chang played only one game. Then we considered the scenario where Daniel Chang played 2 games. Then we considered the scenario where Daniel Chang played 3 games. Okay, 3 games. So the remaining ones are played by Bob. The remaining ones are played by Bob. Okay, the remaining ones are played by Bob. So can I devise an algorithm out of this? How to solve this? Because as I can see, I can just iterate and just take these points. Okay, as I can iterate, I can add +1 for 1 and -1 for 0, +1 for 1, -1 for 0. Okay, but for Bob's points, I have to just start from the back. Because suppose 1 0 1 0 is there, okay, and my Daniel Chang is playing only one game, so it would have 1 point. So all these points would be by Bob. All these points would be for Bob. Okay, so what if I pre-calculate these points? So I make a suffix array and store all the points till here. So 0 would be -1. My point was initially 0. When I saw 0, it became -1. Then when I saw 1, it became -1 plus 1, so 0. So when I saw 0, so 0 minus 1, so it becomes -1. When I saw 1, it became -1 plus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, is equal to 0. So now when I saw that Daniel Chang is playing only one game, that means till here the points are for Daniel Chang, and beyond this all the points are for Bob. So this would give me the cumulative points of Bob, because as I'm adding this from right to left, these are my overall points. These are my overall points that are adding up. These are my overall points. So if these points is greater, if this point is greater than, if this is my ith index, so if my possible of I is greater than, if my possible of I, basically if my count, not possible of I, if my current points are greater than suffix of I plus 1, that means till this point I am considering my points, my current points, and this is for Bob. So if Daniel Chang points are greater than Bob points, I win, and I will just return my answer. I don't have to go further. Why? Because see, as we are just traversing, see, 1 0 1 0 is there, right? So if I just store Bob's points at first, okay, Bob's points at first, so 0 would be making it -1. His points was 0 currently, -1, then -1 plus 1, -1 plus 1 would be making it 0, then 0 would be making it -1 again, then 1 would be making it 0 again. Okay, these are Bob's points. Okay, and I can simply iterate this array for Daniel Chang's point. Okay, so I'll simply iterate. I'll store it in an account. Okay, when I see 1, I'll just increase it. Okay, and it becomes 1. So till here are my Daniel Chang's points. Okay, and this number, this digit, stores the cumulative points. Of Bob. So if this number is greater than this, if my count is greater than suffix of I plus 1 at any point till this index, I'll simply return it. See, why I don't have to go further? Because if this is returned up as my answer, if I just go further, if I just find my answer here also, so this would not be my best answer, because this was my minimum answer. I don't need to go any further. Okay, and if this condition never occurs, I'll simply return -1. Okay, I'll try to do the dry run for the second test case. 1 1 1 1 1. Okay, So it is 1 1 1 1 1. Okay, I'll just remove the commas and then show you. 1 1 1 1 1. Okay, this is my possible array. This is my possible array. And what is my prefix array? What is my prefix array? What is my suffix array? Basically what is my suffix array? Because I am storing the Bob's marks, Bob's points in this. Okay, so if I just start from the back, it's his points were 0 currently. So when I saw 1, it stores 1. When it stores again 1, it stores 2. It shows 3, it shows 4, it shows 5. So as you can see, the numbers are increasing. Why? Because all the levels are getting played by him from the back. Why I am proceeding from the back? You are understanding, right? Because my Daniel Chang is playing from the start. So if he is playing till the start, I don't have to consider the starting elements, right? Rather, I would consider all this. If this is being played by Daniel Chang, so the remaining ones would be played by Bob. So the cumulative sum of this, that is this number, see, I'll just try to dry run. My count was 0. When I came to the first element, I saw that it is 1. I increased my count. Okay. And then I checked. Whether this number, whether my count is greater than this number, because I have my Daniel Chang has played till here. So if he has points greater than this, greater than Bob, then I can simply return this index plus 1, because the index is a 0 base, so I have to return plus 1, answer plus 1. Okay, so is it following the condition? Is my count greater than this number? No, I'll simply move forward. My pointer would move forward. I'll simply move to this index. I'll see that it is 1. My count becomes 2. Now I'll compare with which number? As I'm standing on this, so these both games are played by Daniel Chang. So the remaining ones would be played by Bob, and this number would denote the maximum, denote the total games played by him, lost or won. Okay, this denotes the cumulative sum. So if this count is greater than this number, I'll simply return it. Is it my answer? No, I'll just continue. Okay, I'll come to this index. I see that it is 1. I still increase my count. My count becomes 3. And I can just see is my Daniel Chang has played till here. So till what I will consider? I will consider from here, because see, the game should not overlap. So is my 3 greater than my 2? Yes. So this is the point I return. And what I have to return? I'll simply return the index plus 1. Why? Because see, if I return 2, I'll simply say that I have played only 2 levels. But you can just see it has played 3 levels. So I have to return 2 plus 1. That is, I'll return 3. This was a very simple intuition. Now suppose this never becomes equal, so it will come to the last and it will simply return minus 1. I'll also solve the third test case for you. Suppose it is 0 0 0 and 0. Okay, this is my possible array. What I can do is I can simply store my suffix like the Bob's elements. When I points were currently 0, I start from the back. What I store is I'll simply see this element. Okay, it is 0, so I'll decrease my points. Okay, I'll come backward basically. I'll again see 0. I'll just decrement it again. So it stores this. Okay, my count is initialized. What I'll do is I come to this element. I'll see it is 0. Okay, my count becomes minus 1. So is minus 1 is these are the games played by Daniel Chang. Sorry, I am getting confused between Daniel Chang and Mishong. Okay, and this game is played by Bob. So is the count greater than this element? No. Okay, so I would come here. I'll again see that it is 0. So my count would again decrease, and add. First of all, will I come to till this element? No, no. Why no? Why no? Because see, if I come till this element, that means that all the games are played by Daniel Chan. This cannot be possible. Not possible. This cannot be possible. Okay. So as I don't get any answer, I would return -1. I would return -1. I'll simply try to code and just tell you what I first need. What I first need. You tell what I first need. I'll simply return a points that I will initialize to 0. I need a count. I need a count. Now my count would be storing my Daniel chunks. Okay, I'll just make it D and B for you to understand. I'll make it Bob and make it Daniel. Okay, for you to understand easily. I'll make my vector prefix suffix basically that will be storing all the element like the cumulative ones for Bob, and I'll start from the back. I'll start from the back. What I'll do is, if my possible of I equal to 1, I'll simply increase my Bob's points. Okay. Else, if it is equal to 0, I'll simply decrement my Bob's points. Okay. And what I'll do is, I'll simply store it in my current element. Okay. I'll simply store it in my current element. Now I have a suffix array that contains Bob's points one by one according to the levels. It is being stored. Okay. Now I'll have to see for Daniel Chang. For this, I'll just iterate from 0 to size -1. Why? Because one element, because if I am traversing till the last element, that is not making any sense, right? So if 2 is my size, so I have to just iterate till this element. I'll just iterate till this element. Okay, so I'll just have n-1. I'll just iterate through less than n-1. Okay, so I'll iterate till here only, till this point only. Okay, so I plus plus, and what I'll do is, if my possible of I equal to 1, what I'll do is, I'll increase my Daniel's points. Okay, else I'll decrease my Daniel's points. Okay, and if at any point Daniel points becomes greater than Bob's points, I'll simply return I plus 1. And if all the condition fails, I'll return -1. So I'll try to run it. Let's see if it runs. I don't know. I'll try to submit. Okay, submitted successfully. So let me just try to iterate you through the code what we are doing. Okay, we are just making points for both, and then we are making a suffix array, that will be storing the points of Bob, that will be storing the cumulative points of Bob. Because see one like if you have this array, suppose if you have this array and if Daniel Chang is playing till here, okay, you don't have to calculate this again and again, right? Don't have to calculate this again and again, right? So you will just store it. You will just store all the cumulative sums. Okay, we'll just store all the cumulative sums. Okay, then I'll store it. Then I'll store the cumulative sum, and then now I have the points for Bob, and I need it for Daniel Chang now. So I'll just iterate till size -1, till less than size -1 of possible size array. Why? Because if I just go to the last element, that means that Bob is not playing at all. Okay, and that cannot be possible. We are given with that each player will play at least one level. Okay, so if the condition comes, why am I doing this? Because see, if my condition is getting fulfilled, at this point only, why I need to iterate till here? Why I have to just increase my Daniel Chang's points? I don't have to increase that. Okay, I have to return the minimum. So while iterating, whenever I find true condition, I'll simply return it. Okay. If I just try to see the time complexity, see, just we are iterating once for this, okay, once for this and once for this. So what is my time complexity? My time complexity simply becomes O of 2 into n, because we are using two loops. See, one this loop and one this loop. Okay. And am I using an extra space? Yes, because we are using the suffix array. So space complexity becomes O of n. This was the overall solution to the question, minimum levels to gain more points. See, as you just saw, the question was very easy. It was just trying to confuse you that it is a difficult question, but it was not a difficult question. It was a very easy question. Okay. So if you have any doubts regarding the question, you can ping it down in the comments. If you like the solution, do like, share, subscribe. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye bye.